Welcome to Beyond Bitcoin's Bonus Hangout Edition. To help further educate the BitShares community of potential partnerships and opportunities that reaches well beyond our ecosystem. A common ground where ideas and plans come to unite, wielding the true potential, possibilities, and power of the blockchain technology that we call BitShares. If you feel engaged to participate in these crucial conversations, then please visit beyondbitcoin.org for future hangouts. On behalf of the Beyond Bitcoin crew, we want to say thank you, and we appreciate your time and trust. Now let's listen in to our current guest.
Chris, what would you like people to walk away with? If there's one thing that you wanted them to walk away with today, what would it be?
Well, I think we got really excited project with first BitShares real wallet that is coming up live in a couple of days. We are very excited to show it to the community, and what I really want to bring to the community here is basically I want to encourage everybody to test it, to try it, to give us feedback, and also support us with the OPENPOS that we have, and help us to basically develop the wallet in the future, to fix all the bugs, and to also enable all the future features we have in our timeline that we want to build in the future. Today the wallet basically can already send and receive, and we have many plans with this one, and I hope we really build a really cool first big wallet for BitShares.
Awesome, man. Okay, so from here, what we're going to go ahead and do then is, you guys are both familiar with the Hangouts, but for anybody else who's not familiar with it, I'm going to give them a good chunk of time to kind of like give us just kind of a playthrough of what's been going on behind the scenes, where they started, how you guys met up and started working together, Chris and Ken, and where you're working out of, kind of a little bit of the history, and then bring us up to today. And then from there, of course, this is where it gets interesting. This is when we unleash the community to eat you guys alive with questions and comments. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can. I guess I can start on the history part. That's pretty easy. The way BitShares Munich got started was, and BitShares Munich is not a company, it's just kind of a brand that we put together because I really like the BitShares name, and we're in Munich, and some of my friends were saying that, oh, it's too localized, you got to think bigger, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think that I could build a global company with a local name, so BitShares Munich it is, and one of the things that I had decided to do to get some interest going and start meeting some people in the crypto space here locally was, of course, to use meetup.com, which is awesome. So if you go to meetup.com, if you have a meetup group already, it would be really awesome if you got listed on there, because if you go to bitshares.meetup.com globally, right now there's only 6 groups, which is pretty lame. So I set up a BitShares meetup group, and we've been steadily growing, and so we're already bigger than the one in Virginia. Haha! But pretty proud about that, but we're growing pretty quick now too. So the meetup thing is really a great way for you to meet people in your local town and talk about crypto, talk about BitShares, and now with the mobile wallet, you can actually trade smart coins back and forth. Actually, not just smart coins, but I set it up so that you can trade UIAs, basically everything that's on the exchange. So, primarily speaking, the wallet is a three-part project too. So we're getting all of the fundamental stuff built first into version 1. And on Monday, January 4th, that's when we're going to release beta 1 to the public, so you guys can start playing around with it.
Well, it sounds like you guys have come a far way from just meetups, right? I mean,
meetup is the best way, I think, to meet people and to start showing them this. And we use a mobile wallet to be able to do that, because I started out going to all of the Bitcoin Stammtisch here in München. It's a Bitcoin meetup group here in Munich, and basically what we do is we trade Bitcoins back and forth. And I was like, God, BitShares really needs something like this, because BitShares has a platform built. It's ready to go. You just need to start putting apps and stuff now on the BitShares Foundation. So I started tossing around some ideas, and I've been in software for over 20 years. So I was like, well, why don't we just make a mobile wallet, and why don't we do point of sale? Because my experience back in 1993, I started building the world's first shopping cart, and that pretty much became the standard for a while. If you Google Tech 9 Pro e-business, that is my software that I started in 1993. So that got me really familiar with point of sale systems and web-based warehousing, web-based RMA, sales, accounting, tech, all that. So we even had dial-in pools and all that. So I have a lot of experience doing point of sale and web-based e-business apps. Well, of course, you don't even use the word e-business anymore, but whatever. So history-wise, I guess I kind of went off track there a little bit, but Chris and I met at the meetup, of course. So this is, I mean, like I said, meetups are basically the best way for you to start getting the word out there too. So, and with the mobile wallet, it's going to be a lot easier to start trading and showing your friends how it all works. So
that's a good point, because, you know, we have these virtual sessions to talk to people, but then we don't have the boots on the ground local aspect quite as much as we probably could. And 6 meetups, you know, around the world, that's not terrible, but you're right. I mean, it's something that I think is an off-topic thing that's important that you brought up for us to recognize. But so you met Chris at the meetup. Chris, from the meetup point, whenever you guys started talking about all of this stuff, at what point did you guys start realizing that you guys were going to do the point of sale stuff? Was it Ken's idea or was it yours?
Well, we had, I think, quite a lot of different ideas what we wanted to do. That was still back in BitShares 1.0 or the even earlier versions. And Ken was a delegate back then, and I got really interested in the BitShares system. We just played around with different ideas. And after a while, Ken just suggested the POS system because this was always something that he had a lot of knowledge in, and where we saw a huge potential, because we know basically, we in Munich, especially with the upcoming Oktoberfest and other international festivals, we just have a lot of opportunities to promote international cryptocurrencies or POS systems. When you just think about all the Americans and Canadians who come to Munich to celebrate the Oktoberfest in Munich, and we thought about, okay, maybe they want to use Bitcoin here, they want to exchange Bitcoins, but we know the problem with Bitcoin, of course, is the volatility, and then BitShares basically solved all those problems for us, and it was just, basically a no-brainer for us to say, why don't we build this in a BitShares system, and then we just talk to all the hotels and restaurants or whoever would be interested in tourism. We have a huge Chinese tourist crowd who are coming through Munich every day. So we have a lot of potential customers who could be a good start for our POS systems.
This is a thing, Bucky. I mean, it's a very social thing to do, though. I mean, you're meeting every single time we have a meetup, we meet new people. I mean, of all ages, male and female, that come out to just hear about what crypto is and what Bitcoin is and what BitShares is all about and what does decentralized mean? And, you know, I mean, I've met, like I mentioned, the private banking guy. You meet bankers and real estate people, and like Petra, for example, is a lady that owns a coffee shop that we have our meetups at. A ton of ideas, and most of them are going to involve issuing UIAs and stuff like that. So, actually, I would like to have Lutz do do a talk for us at one of our upcoming meetups. Lutz is my attorney, and he's very crypto savvy, obviously. And I would like to do a video with him at our next meetup, so that you guys can see like what I'm saying about just make sure you use the right words if you guys are going to issue tokens or whatever, because this is very disruptive as that term goes right now. So.
It's interesting to hear from a lawyer's perspective, even though that lawyer might not necessarily be from your local area, because, you know, it's interesting how the legalese works, it's still almost like a universal language in its own sense, right? So that would be really cool. It would be really cool. So we've gone up through both of your sides of the story as far as meeting up at the meetups and then going into the technology side of it, what you guys are doing, the demographics that you think you can reach out to given your strategic location. Now, let's dig into the meat of it. What are our users going to get out of this? What do you see this technology providing them, and how can people help? As far as, how will they be able to download it and all that good stuff?
Well, let me start with the OpenPOS thing. Well, no, let me start with the OpenPOS thing is for Chris. The Smart Coins POS, okay? The POS systems, you had mentioned maybe we should do our own hardware system and all that. Well, I see quite a barrier to entry if we try to create our own hardware and all that. So what I see is about 50 different POS systems that already exist, like SAP, ShopKeep, Odoo. I mean, there's tons of them. And I chose Odoo first because they're open source. So, and I already have Python developers, which is primarily what Odoo is written in. So what I want to do is I want to leverage the 50,000 businesses that Odoo is already hooked up to. And they use the Odoo software on a daily basis for their accounting, for their websites, for their cash registers, all of that. So this way, I can develop a module that will now be integrated with the Odoo software, so that the next version release of the Odoo software will automatically provide that feature now for smart coins usage at every single cash register, at every single store in the Odoo network. So, as an example, one business that uses the Odoo software is Cox Communications. Everybody has heard of Cox Communications, or most people have it, in America at least. And we know that they have millions of customers. Now imagine that many customers being able to pay with smart coins and Cox being able to receive money via smart coins. That's huge. And that's just one of those 50,000 businesses. So what I want to do is just make it so that the customer doesn't really have to do anything. It's automatically part of the existing system that they already use. So instead of trying to sell this to Dollar General or to one supermarket chain, I would rather integrate it with the systems that they already use, which will make it a lot easier on me trying to do an integration, because I only have to integrate with one piece of software, and now everybody could use it. So it's just, I think you guys get my point. So Odoo is the first, because it's open source, and like I said, if we can get the OpenPOS token funded, like I said, we can have the Smart Coins POS, the first system's ready to go in about 2 months. So I'm pushing for March 1st, but we have to get the OpenPOS, the rest of it funded. Now, Buzz, do you want to talk about the wallet and how that works, or do you want to cover the POS a little bit more? Or?
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked. Where we're sitting right now is we're at about 15 minutes, which is about perfect. I would love personally to cover a little bit more about the point of sale system, what we quote unquote get out of, the point of sale system, how you see it's going to be implemented, if you are willing and interested to tell people about it and all that good stuff. And then obviously go into the mobile wallet. But where does anybody else have any questions or comments they'd like to bring up before I move us in that direction? Email to AJ says here, you gave a quick overview of OpenPOS, but could you please go through the workflow from A to Z?
A customer goes to the store, and this is assuming that they have the BitShares mobile wallet, which there will be many. But they go to the store that happens to support Odoo, and there will be others, like I said, but Odoo is just the first integration that we're doing. They go to the store, the customer shows the merchant either their phone or whatever, but typically the cash register person will say cash, card, or crypto, basically, is where I'm hoping this will go. and the customer says crypto or smart coins or whatever, the merchant can then push that button on the flat screen that they use at the cash register, and the screen that the customer can access, either a swivel or the one that the merchant is using, will display the QR code. The coolest part of this QR code thing that we've been working on heavily is the ability to have e-receipts. What this is it's basically a way to send the receipt to the customer. And from what I've been able to find, there's really no easy way to do that right now with QR codes. But if you can generate a JSON file, which is the receipt at the merchant, you take that JSON file and you compress it, right? JavaScript, you get the JavaScript compressed. Then you base 58 encode it, and you take that URL that's encoded and you throw it into a QR code. That's the QR code that the BitShares wallet will read, and then it transcribes that data on the mobile phone. Okay, so now you have a receipt of every single purchase that you make at a SmartCoins POS. So that's basically the workflow, and then the customer obviously sends the money, and they approve it or don't approve it, and you can actually send memos with it and notes and specific amounts, and there's all kinds of different settings that you can set along with your transactions too. Plus, the merchant can say, "Thank you for your order. Here's a rewards token or something." This is something we talked to Petra about at the coffee shop, where she can issue her own tokens for rewards cards or something like that. So every time you come back to this particular store or this coffee shop or whatever, you can actually have that UIA for that particular store, which is a rewards card too. So it gets you to come back to that store. So there's a lot of different things that we can add to this, but my goal is to make it incredibly just grandma friendly at the actual cash register, which will entice people to start using this. And the only way to get mass adoption is to make this incredibly simple. So if you've seen any of the screenshots from the wallet that we've built, I tried to make it so that it's just blatantly obvious what that button is for. So that's kind of where I went with this. But the e-receipts thing, I think, is the biggest part of this. But it's basically just a QR code that is shown to the customer. And there's no more card swiping or anything like that. Oh, one other person brought up this thing about NFC. Wireless service is not required at the merchants, nor is Bluetooth or NFC, which I think is a major benefit in security and support. So, having devices that actually support those technologies or having it turned on or whatnot. So by putting everything into the QR code, we don't have to worry about all of that anymore. They don't have to worry about ID theft and all that stuff too. So,
yeah, because a lot of these devices, for those who are not very familiar with it, a lot of these devices have, the Bluetooth or like you said, the NFC, which is what, near frequency communication? Is that what it stands for?
That's right. There's another technology that just came out in, I think it was on CT, Cointelegraph, about Plutus or something like that. They're coming out with a mobile app. I guess it's for Bitcoin only, but it allows all merchants in the world who have NFC support to now kind of inadvertently be able to accept Bitcoin. So I think what they're doing is kind of setting up another exchange or something like that and just sends it through their own NFC network. But there's huge limitations, from my understanding, with NFC too, is that merchants who process NFC transactions are very limited because most of those small transactions that don't require a signature are usually under $25. So, if you go to Burger King or something like that and they don't make you sign the receipt and you use NFC, well, typically your bill can't be over like $20 or something. So NFC has its own limitations as well. So we've avoided having to rely on all these wireless technologies altogether and just cram everything into the QR code, because QR codes can hold a lot of data. So you can do all of your shopping at the supermarket and you buy 1,000 items or whatever at the store, the QR code can handle all of that. So we've solved that problem.
So it seems like, because QR codes are also pretty much ubiquitous, right? I mean, that's something that all these systems already work with generally, or have developers who are probably familiar with using them, which it seems you are one of them. So it sounds like you guys have kind of gone with a path that is the least resistance, which is kind of smart. And this is why you've been bumping your head up against the wall, making sure that you're trying to get all this stuff done for the QR codes, right?
Well, this stuff is so highly technical, nobody gets it. And when you see that sticker on the front window that says, Bitcoin's accepted here and smart coins accepted here, whatever, nobody cares. Nobody knows what that means. Well, why do I care? Give me a reason to use smart coins at your store. What's the point? Well, the merchant has a lot of reasons that they should be accepting Bitcoin to save money and bring in new business, So just making this mass adoption even possible is to just make it blatantly simple for people to use it. And everybody knows how to use their smartphones these days, and everybody has used the camera on their phone. So within 2 taps, if you can be able to pay your bill, that's pretty powerful. So you tap the BitShares wallet icon on your phone, and then you tap on scan, and boom, there it is. And there's actually 2 buttons for it too. If you want to send money, it's a red button on the wallet app that allows you to send, or just tap on a camera so you can scan their QR code. But then they can send you the e-receipt and the whole bit. So, in 3 seconds you can be out of there. I'd like to see any credit card on the planet be able to pull that off.
Yeah, I personally see wallets being the way that people, Android and iOS based wallets basically on handheld devices are going to replace real wallets, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
They already are. You see that in different ads. They're not even going with cards anymore, so they're putting the whole thing into NFC and Bluetooth. So
yeah, I'd like to ask a question if that's all right.
Of course it is, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, Ken. You mentioned that you guys are integrating into this platform with all these merchants that already, 50,000 some merchants in the system. Are you guys implementing anything for, I guess, to incentivize the merchants to try to acquire more customers by maybe like having them implement their own referral program to their customers where they can now get a certain percentage of fees? Or have you guys thought about that type of approach?
Absolutely, we have. That is more of a marketing guru's job. I'm not the best marketer, but I know that Chris has a lot of connections in that industry, and I think we have some pretty good marketers here in the BitShares community too that can kind of help give us some angles on how to start getting the word out to them and the mass adoption of it. Not only that, but we may, if we're lucky, don't quote me on this, but if we're lucky, we may be able to even get into Odoo's existing marketing channel. So that's powerful. And if we can pull that off, that would really be huge because they would be doing the majority of the advertising for us and we wouldn't even really have to convince anybody. So you got to make it a no-brainer for the merchant.
So would this be huge? Sorry.
Yeah.
There's just a running joke, man. I just have to plug it occasionally. So
is that your new token, Fuzzy? Your new token is called huge.
Yeah, right. Does that answer your question, AJ?
Yeah, it kind of does. I was more interested in seeing if it's going to be enabled in like the wallet side for the merchant to be able to kind of send maybe out an email, kind of like a ShareBit style, to where they got a customer and, they notice they're using an off currency, let's say like Bitcoin, and they would like to get somebody into the BitShare side of it because they can, now the merchant has the incentive to get the referral income from that user. And if there's a way in the wallet to kind of set that up easily for the merchant to put their email address in, kind of like the ShareBit style, and blast them an email, they can click on it, sign into a new wallet and get new users into the system.
I think, right now I already have an FAQ section going in the thread that we created for OPENPOS, but I would like to leverage all the marketing people that we have in this community that are way better than I am in marketing and thinking of cool ideas to be able to recruit these merchants. At least, I know that we have at least one here in town that's just itching to use this, Petra's Coffee Shop, but I mean, that's nothing. What I want is, I don't know, this thing with Saturn, you guys don't know about it in the States, but it's what is it in the States? The big equivalent would be Home Depot, I guess is similar. But over here you call it Saturn, like the planet Saturn. MediaMarkt are a major electronics outfit, kind of like Circuit City was. God, I can't remember any names over there anymore. Anyways, but I think that I may be able to get in with them too, because we had a very, very long conversation with one of the leads, executive board guys from that company, along with Petra too. Were in her coffee shop that night. But so once we have, I think, at least 1 or 2 case studies, I think Odoo's advertising is going to be a lot easier. So, but we really need to leverage the marketing experts that are in this community, because I'm definitely not a marketing guy.
Man, if you're not a marketing guy, I don't know who is. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody
yeah,
hear
we
me
hear
out
you
there?
well. I would say that he's very good at anything he sets his mind to, but he doesn't see himself as a marketing guy.
Well, having that coffee shop may not have a lot of business per se, but it's a great meeting place. It's a great way to get the word out, because if that coffee shop is frequented by very many people, and coffee shops are frequented by people of all walks of life, that seems like it would be a good place to get the word out, at least at the grassroots level. So I wouldn't discount the coffee shop as a potential big win.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, whether it's a big business or a small business, I think the brewery too. We have this brewery called Giesinger Brew, which the owner of Giesinger they're a major brewery here in Munich. But that guy is friends with Petra, which owns the coffee shop, and Petra is also friends with the guy from Saturn too. So we have 3, well, definitely 1, but the other 2 are major. I mean, if we do a case study with them too, I think this will take off real quick, because mass adoption can only come once you actually get it out there and you're showing people how it works, because this technology by itself is just confusing to 99% of the population. So yeah, Tom, like you said, it does have to start with grassroots, which is why I'm always pushing the meetup groups. I wish more people would just start a meetup group. It's dirt cheap, and you can meet tons of people that are interested in this stuff. And now you can, take your BitShares wallet with you on your mobile phone and trade with them and show them how it works. And like, oh wow, in 3 seconds I can send $1 billion to somebody. Well, yeah, I guess if you wanted to.
Across the world.
Yeah, meetup groups are a great idea. Actually, I live in a very rural area, but I'm, when you say meetup groups, I'm a member of others that we go elsewhere. But I'm thinking maybe I'll start a meetup group cryptocurrencies here in my area and see where it goes. I mean, you can't lose anything.
Definitely not. And now that we have a mobile wallet, I mean, it's going to be just that much easier, because that's how I got into this. I was going to the Bitcoin meetups, and they all had their phones out. They're using mycelium and whatever. And I was like, well, that's cool. And it was so easy. And I'm like, well, God, we don't have anything like this. Nothing. I mean, we didn't even have the web wallet at that time. So actually Calfee was just starting to get the first one out there, I think, when I started going to those meetups. And I was like, man, I got to do something with this, because I see huge opportunity here. So the mass adoption is only going to come once we actually get out there, take your phone out there, and start showing people how this works. So, and how cheap it is. I know we were going over the fees earlier about how high BitShares fees are, and I do agree BitShares fees right now are still too high. But I think we'll have that fixed in the next week or two, right? If we implement this new percentage-based program, because microtransactions at the store, when I send my daughter to the store for, because she wants her candy bar or whatever, she shouldn't have to pay $10 for a candy bar. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I can see where you guys are coming from on that. It makes total sense, at least from the point of sale side of things. Now, the question, I guess, might be balancing it with what the needs of the exchange are, but that's a discussion, I guess, for another time. But it's definitely the fee-based aspect would make it so your daughter doesn't have to. The percentage-based, rather, would make it so your daughter doesn't have to pay $10 for a candy bar. What, 50.5 cents?
Right, exactly. Somebody else had brought up a point in the community here, too, that what you're doing, though, is you're going to actually be going up against Visa and MasterCard, and he's absolutely right. So you can't say that this is going to be an easy battle, because you're quite literally, and here in Munich, let me tell you, too, it was kind of a culture shock for me coming here, because here in Munich, I guess all over Germany, everybody uses cash. And in America, I never used cash. I never, ever had cash in my pocket. I always just swipe everywhere. But here, you don't do that. You've always got to go to an ATM and pay their $5 fee to pull out a freaking 10-euro bill, and it's just ridiculous. So now what's going to happen is we're trying to bring digital something to a cash-centric society. And for me here, I think it's going to be extremely difficult, which is why all the stuff that we're doing is in 22 languages too. The wallet and all the point of sale systems from version 1 is in 22 languages. So I want mass adoption of BitShares, and the only way to do that is to really hit this hard and make it available to as many people as we can. So in every single country. But going up against Visa and MasterCard is exactly what's happening here, I think. So it's going to be an uphill battle, and it might get ugly too. You can't cut in on our business, and this good old boy network is gonna who knows, man. I always try to think up what's the worst case scenario here too. But how else are we gonna
just to prepare, I guess, right? Yeah.
We got to start somewhere.
I'm definitely interested in moving forward and watching how, out of curiosity, just so everybody here who's available and is paying attention or listening after the fact, how would they go into buying the OpenPOS token?
Chris, that's your...
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Perfect timing.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some connection issues over there, it looks like. So
if you want to wait, I'm more than willing to wait. But if you feel like you would like to answer it, you're more than welcome to as well. I just am bringing it up because it's a good place for him to talk.
Yeah, the OpenPOS token, I think about $3,500 was raised so far. The total that's needed to finish these up is 19,000. So we've actually done quite well, I think, in the first few days. So, but we'll be releasing the mobile wallet beta 1 on Monday, and so I want to try to get as many people, just beat the heck out of it as much as possible. Try to break it. Try to find a security hole in it. Try to just beta test the heck out of it. So I'll be posting a link on the OpenPOS thread of the forum on Monday so that you can download the APK. I don't know if Arthur is going to have the iPhone version ready on the same day, but I think it should be shortly thereafter. But I basically just said sometime in January we'll be able to have download ready for iPhones as well. I didn't really want to tell anybody, but we also have a Windows phone version that's coming out at the exact same time. So we're going to need testers for that as well. But the thread where I'm posting it is the OpenPOS thread, and you'll see Chris's initial post, the original post at the top, and then mine is the first reply on the post. So that's where I'll post it. And I'll probably just do another reply to the thread in general too, so that people can start downloading it and playing with it. Oh, one thing about iPhones that Arthur was telling me is that you have to have a jailbreak iPhone to be able to install apps that are not in the App Store. So I don't have an iPhone, so I can't test that one. But I'm assuming that's right. So anybody who has an iPhone probably has to have a jailbreaked iPhone to be able to install without the App Store. Also, from what I hear, it takes a couple of months for them to approve it. So for now, it's just going to be a download, which is fun with me because it allows us to really beat the hell out of it and just make sure that this thing is just, like AJ says, dynamite before we release this to the world. So I want to make sure that everything is perfect. I'm pretty anal retentive that way, I guess.
Hey, Chris, are you there, man? Looks like he just got back on.
Yeah, I'm back. Italy and internet is not what suits together.
Well, man, it sounds great when you're talking. So for as long as you're here, Ken was talking a little bit about the OpenPOS and how to buy into it if people were interested in so doing. And I wanted to also bring up some other things with the community to be able to ask you some questions and give you some opinions on their, on the entire project and various things that we come up with all, on a regular basis. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, and Ken and I and the community here were kicking around, was the idea of how OpenPOS was being sold, how people would go ahead and buy it, some of those details.
Yes, sure. So basically, for right now, we still have the early bird investment for the OpenPOS, and that will continue till the 10th of January. And until then, you basically will have the ability to buy OpenPOS with a discount. You just simply contact me over the forum, or you send me an email at chris@bitshares-munich.de. You can also add me on Skype. You will find all the information basically also in our forum thread, and you just shoot me a mail. I'm gonna respond to you within one day, and you can check up all the prices for the day also on the forum thread, and we're gonna send you back the OpenPOS. Basically, you just send us the BitShares to the BitShares-Munich account, and we're gonna send us back the OpenPOS.
What we had been talking about a little bit with Ken throughout this period of time that we've been doing this hangout is a little bit more on the technical side and what he sees, the workflow, how all of this is going to come together, some of the marketing aspect, but he kind of bumps into that area and then says, this is where this is Chris's area of expertise. So I was wondering if maybe you could talk a little bit about that aspect of the project and, what plans are. He mentioned some things about the marketing stream with Odoo and some other things. So I guess what I would like to focus on for a few minutes is some of these things that are going on in the marketing area of OpenPOS, and then maybe we can go from there.
Yeah, sure. So basically what we plan to do for the next couple of days, we want to provide more information and we want to answer questions about the smart point of sale system for everybody, so the people will understand what we plan to do. And also with the launch of the wallet on the 4th of January, everybody can play around to see what we are able to do, what kind of developer team we have. A lot of people were asking us if you can provide any kind of credentials to say, okay, this is really a good team. I think we got a really good team already, and they're very capable. They built the wallet in a really short time, and it's going to be available soon. The thing for us right now really is we need to get the funding going. We have to basically pay back for the wallet, and of course we also have to pay the first down payment for the SmartCoin POS development. So for us right now, we're going to provide more information on the forum, on Mumble Talks, also on private talks, and we also plan to keep the community informed about our next steps.
Could I ask a question about your POS offering that you just pitched to us here?
Yeah, sure.
Just out of curiosity, how did you come up with the price of 18 or 22, 23 BitShares per POS?
Basically, we thought about to issue less tokens at the beginning, to basically just say, okay, we have a higher price for each token, but I think it's better to offer more tokens. So for every investor, they have basically a better marketing feeling to say, okay, I own more of the project. The price itself is just the amount of tokens that we issued divided through all we need to the 19,000 we need to rise for this, and then we come up with roughly 25 BitShares for the core value of the token. And right now we offer special kind of discounts for the early bird investors, and when we are opening the market for real trading, then it's going to be 25.
Okay, I just wasn't sure how you came up with that, but it basically is based on the 90K you were trying to raise, and then what you projected would be a better number of shares to put out there for the community to absorb, and that was your approach. Thanks.
Exactly. Yeah, look, the other projects in the market, other successful tokens. I don't see the point to issue several millions of tokens and then you have 50 or 100,000 of tokens in your wallet sitting around, but it's still just valuable for €5 or €6. So I think if 500,000 is a good amount. It's not too much. It's not just a few, and it should be good.
Definitely. Out of curiosity, for the people who are on the forums who are paying attention to this, how long is this going to go? For the people who are not paying attention to this on the forums, rather, how long is this going to go? I mean, how many more days from January 1st, which is Happy New Year's, of course, but from today on, is it going to be like 10 more days, 15 more days?
Well, the discount or the early bird will be until the 10th of January. And in the forum post, I posted all the information about the prices, how much discount we're going to grant. Right now, we grant 10%. With the special mumble right now, you even get more. You will get more than 20% discount on all of your purchases. And running out, we're going to just grant you 5% discount. And after the 11th of January, we're going to charge the full price. And that's basically going to be another 10 days where you have special prices if you want to invest with us.
Okay, so it's approximately 10 days. And there's early bird investors, would you like to run through those?
Yes, of course.
Different
so
tiers?
I created different tiers because I want to reward everybody who is investing into the OpenPOS system and platform, and everybody who is going to invest more than $100, he will get the bronze title from us. Everybody who's investing more than €250 or dollars is going to get the silver title. And for really VIP investors, we also grant the gold title for all investments over $1,000. And if you really want to get a good part of all the future revenues we're going to share with you, then you have to invest more than $2,000 and you will get the platinum title from us. And this is just a way how to encourage all the investors and to just really say thank you to them, that they believe in our capability, that they believe in the project. And we're really, really thankful for them to support us.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here and answering our questions. And yes, Kencode's mentioning here, Twitter, please PM at Chris42. Well, let me spell it out. At CHRIS, as in Sierra, 4210X, or email at chris@bitshares-munich.de. And thank you very much for giving us, everybody who's in attendance, that discount on the OpenPOS. I feel like maybe we don't want to delve too deep, but if you want to talk about anything in terms of the Odoo marketing and all that stuff, you're more than welcome to. I would like to also let everybody know that I'm about to post again one more time the Hangout list for those who are in attendance here.
Sure. So for the Odoo development, Odoo going to be basically the first ERP system that we address and that we are in contact with. We have already contacted the core management team of Odoo and also some of the Odoo developers, since it's an open source development platform. And they are really interested into the SmartCoin point of sale system. They want to know more about it. And we are staying in contact with them, and when we get all the funding together, then we can make the first down payment, then we can really progress here and also create and develop our business development for them. They are sitting in Brussels, but they have offices worldwide, and more than 50,000 customers are using Odoo as basically a classical company management platform. And the interesting thing is it's kind of an app store for companies. So we will create a special smart coin payment app for them. And then everybody who is interested into receiving or using smart coins within or for their company, they just simply download the app, they upgrade, and then they're good to go. And that is our goal. We want to work close with Odoo together to promote that kind of system. and to make it very popular within the App Store. And we also have plans to bring it into the core payment system, because what we saw when we went to the auto development platform meetup day is that when most companies, when they do their banking, or when they have to sell or send money to their employees, or they want to pay off one of their suppliers, then they just click on paying, and this payment is going through, or is routed through, an internal payment system. And we are planning to bring smart coins also in this area. So basically, the companies can decide, how do I want to pay my supplier in Asia? Do I want to use the normal banking route, or do I want to use the smart coin route over BitShares? And that's our goal. And we plan to work close with the auto management here to really make this happening.
Chris, did you want to cover the rewards thing too? I don't even think we talked about the rewards for the people who hold OpenPOS token.
Of course. So this is not only a token that you invest and then nothing will happen. Our plan is, as you probably know or heard about, whenever you are using one of these point of sales terminals, so you just swipe your cards, the terminal provider, the payment processor provider, they charge fees for the amount, for the volume that you have to pay. So basically, if you buy something for $100, then $3 are going to the point of sales provider, and $97 are landing at the store, at the restaurant, or at the merchant. So 3% is quite a lot of money, and a lot of merchants are bitching about it, especially in Germany, because it is way too high. And they say, like, if you do microtransactions, it's just €5 or less than €5. They don't accept cards because the fees are too high. Usually it's a combination of a fixed fee plus a variable fee. They don't accept it. And here, this is where we really see our advantage, because with the smart coins, we can really reduce those kind of fees. We can route the money very fast and easily from the customer to the store owner, and we're gonna charge a smaller fee. We haven't figured out yet how tall the fee gonna be. I think it's gonna be around 1%, and we offer 50% of all the revenues we're gonna make from these 1% fees to all point of sales OpenPOS holders. So basically, everybody who holds OpenPOS will have direct access to those collected fees that we get from each transaction over the smart coin point of sale system. And we thought about several systems, how we can basically send the rewards to all OpenPOS holders. And for right now, we're going to make it similar to the OBITs. We're going to take all the revenues, we're going to take 50% of them, and we're going to buy back all open orders on the decentralized exchange. But we also have plans in the future to reward each holder directly.
Well, that's awesome. Can you talk at all about those plans, or are those kind of hush-hush in the dark right now?
Well, it's a legal point for us right now. We still have to work it out with our legal department, because when you use the token as a classical stock, what we don't want to do for right now, that was our initial idea. We wanted to say, okay, whenever there is a transaction on the network and we as a company, we collect 1%, then 50% of these 1% are paid out to all holders, token holders. But we are basically moving in an area of issuing stocks and shares. And then we have, of course, a legal problem. So as soon as we figured all the legal problems, then we can offer that one as well. And this is actually where I would like to go in the long term, that we can really make every token holder make part of the company, and also get a monthly or a bi-monthly reward from all the transactions that run through the network.
It sounds like one heck of a, I don't know, would you call it a partnership with Voodoo?
Yes,
Well,
they call us partners, but we're not in a legal partnership with them with a capital P, if you know what I mean. So they call it a partner program, but in legal terms, no, that's not an actual partnership with their company.
Gotcha. Because it just sounds like the more you guys are talking about this, the more I realize that you guys are pretty in and actually working with them.
Yeah, we meet with their management, their developers, and a module that's part of their default install. That's a pretty tight partnership. Now, the app that's going to go in their app store will allow merchants to install it immediately instead of waiting for the next version of Odoo, which is pretty cool. But my ultimate goal is to have the module itself be part of a default installation of the Odoo software. So that way the merchant doesn't have to do anything. They just automatically see it on their screen the next, upon their next upgrade. They're at version 9 right now, Odoo version 9. So
out of curiosity, what does the Odoo management, I mean, can you tell us, what exactly they liked about it? About the idea of working with BitShares in this way?
Yeah, well, right now, the only company that I know of is even doing crypto in this open source / tablet based cash register systems is Revel, which in Revel is REVEL, and they do have a Bitcoin app, which from the reviews I've been reading, it blows chunks. But so I guess we're going to pretty much dominate the market. And luckily we have a product called Smart Coins that is, pretty much blows the doors off what Bitcoin was able to offer them too. So being the first to market is very important. And being that it's open source, I have a lot of, my guys, plus existing team if I need to be able to recruit their services. So Odoo itself is almost all Python. And I've got a couple of Python guys too. So they're basically just waiting for me. Actually, I have another meeting on Monday with Anil. So Anil is in one of my guys. He lives in India, but he's like, okay, let's go. I'm like, I know, I'm trying now. We just got to get the rest of the money, and we're ready to roll with this thing. And Odoo's waiting on us too. So let's do this. Let's get this OPENPOS moving, man. Tuck asks, is there an OpenPOS logo or image? OpenPOS is just the name of the token. The actual system and the software that we're writing is called Smart Coins POS. So, and I'm actually having Mick redo the stickers too. You might have seen the stickers that we put online for people to download, but right now they say BitShares accepted here and Bitcoin accepted here. Just underneath it, I'm having Mick redo some stickers too, so that it says Smart Coins accepted here, Bitcoin accepted here. So you guys will be able to download the stickers and put them into businesses too. So for the people who are holding OpenPOS token, the rewards that you get from that is basically, and this is how we get the network effect too, because all those OpenPOS holders now get the rewards from every transaction at every cash register at every one of these stores. So it behooves people to go out and tell their local merchant, hey, check this out. You guys are using Odoo. Whoa, why don't you start using Smart Coins? Here, I'll pay you right now. I'll buy this candy bar and, show them how to use it because you got a mobile wallet now. So, it's just a matter of time, man. It's going to take some time to get mass adoption, but I'm trying to make this as blatantly easy for people so that, when my grandma can use it, I know everybody will be able to use it.
And that's the cool thing, we can come out with templates of how to, and that's kind of what I'm getting at, what Odoo thought the value proposition for BitShares was, because I like to approach this from the standpoint of let's provide people with a template on how to do things with the tools that they are being offered now. You know what I mean? The people who are building the tools have a vision of how those tools should be used. Now, does that mean that they're going to have the entire vision? No, but they're going to have a good chunk of it. And it's a solid place for people to start off using those tools. And in terms of this aspect with regard to the, selling people on integrating BitShares essentially wallet into all this, it's a pretty powerful thing. Now, the question that Zeldol is actually asking, which gets into this, is are referral transfer fees generated from using your mobile wallet included in the token buyback, similar to OBITs from fees generated on OpenLedger?
Right, that's the same way Chris set it up, I think. So it's basically an automatic kind of thing, so that we don't have to touch it, and there's no way a human can screw it up. I'd rather just have this whole thing automated and humans, as I like to say, if I can get the software to do it for us, then I do. So, and I like the way that the way the OBITS thing was set up.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Zelda, or do you feel like maybe Chris Chris, does that sound like it's? Can you verify that that's how it is on your end?
Well, we still look into how we can take all the referral income, but it's definitely going to be a part. I think we can add that to the buyback pool, and that will come as well.
Did you guys see that video that I posted showing the wallet? Like the early, it's Alpha 6.
Yes.
Okay. That video that I posted was from Arthur's phone, but what I want to do is probably post another video. I'm hoping by Sunday. It might be Monday. I don't know, but because we're releasing the wallet anyways on Monday, so people can start testing it. But the video that I posted, it's not totally pretty yet, so don't judge it too harshly. But it works, and it works beautifully. So I've used it on my tablet, and I have a really old tablet too. My tablet is about 4 years old. And in this world, that's like a dinosaur. So it's running great on my tablet. And I think what I'll do probably on Sunday or Monday is install it on my wife's phone too, and shoot it like with my tablet, a video of me installing it on my wife's phone. So when you install it, it has a standard end user license agreement. You tap I agree, and then you go into the setup screen where you can import accounts or set up a new account or register a new account. So that's another cool thing about the meetups is if they don't have a BitShares account yet, that's not a big deal at all because it walks through it in the setup screen of the wallet. So and it's really smooth and it's really fast too, which is cool. It only took like a few seconds to register a new account using the mobile wallet. So the end user experience when you're showing this to somebody is pretty slick. So, but we'll make it all super pretty and everything like that over the coming days. But right now, it works. So we got just a couple of little bugs that we want to get worked out before Monday, and the one that really needs to be working flawlessly before Monday is the backup thing. We've got it generating that BIN file, the binary file. But on some phones, it won't allow you to save the file. So this is a permissions issue on some phones. On mine it did. On my tablet it worked fine. But so anyways, we just got to get that out, and we'll probably have that done by this weekend before the launch on Monday. But if not, then I'll mention that on the forum. So, but either way, this is a beta product. So don't use it for more than you can afford to lose, of course. But if you got time, I could run through some of the features of it with you.
Oh, please do. We can. I think that we can probably extend this by an extra 15 minutes if everybody's okay with it.
I'll just go through a list here. First and foremost is security. In my mind, security, very anal about security. So we're implementing everything that Graphene has to offer as far as security goes, plus PIN numbers, plus we're making it so that, and you can turn all this stuff off if you don't like it, but I have it turned on by default. So initial use of it might be kind of annoying because it keeps prompting you for a PIN and it keeps automatically logging you out after 3 minutes and all that. But if you like, you can go into the settings screen and turn that stuff off. But like I said, I'm pretty anal about security. But anyways, we have the master seed thing, brain key. So that's going to be there, so you can use that if you want to. Actually, you have to for your backup. Multi-sig account permissions is built in there. Auto encrypted backups, auto close, auto timeout, and PIN verification. So you set a 6-digit PIN on sending money. You can turn that off if you want. Also, the auto timeout and auto close will also prompt you for a PIN number if you wanted to every time you open the app. Which I use that as well because, as you know, I got a couple little girls, so I always grabbing my phone and screwing everything up. So, so I got the PIN numbers turned on for everything. But also, like I mentioned earlier, no wireless of any kind is needed. So no Bluetooth, no NFC, or merchant wireless service, or any kind of special hardware is needed. We wrote this with Apache Cordova, if you know what that is, and we're also using PhoneGap. But basically what this is it's one JavaScript and all React.js based app in the Chrome wrapper that runs on Android, iPhones, and Windows phones. I'm not advertising the Windows phones because I don't know if it's going to work, because I really have no way of testing it. I have friends with iPhones, but I don't know anybody that even has a Windows phone. So hopefully it works for those people. But I guess we'll find out as we go along. But I made sure that it worked on all of them. One thing also was brought up by another member of the community about the black phone. Apparently the black phone is a flavor of Android called Silent OS. So if anybody in the community knows of somebody with a black phone too, could you please have them email me or PM me on the forum, because I would really like to test it out on that phone as well, because it kind of goes along with my security bit. So I hear they're pretty secure and whatever, but either way, I would like to be able to get it running on there, because it's Android anyway, so why not? Let's try to get it working on their phones as well. So no wireless or special hardware is required. We use QR codes for pretty much everything. We can send locally, receive locally. This is, like I said earlier a million times, this is great for meetup groups. So if you haven't started a meetup group yet in your town, please do so. And the reason why I am so adamant about getting these meetup groups going too is because there is a finder. Version 2 of the wallet has what's called a finder, and that is going to allow you to find local meetup groups in your area with your phone, as well as POS merchants and other smart coin users who are on the ZMaps. I think it's Xerox, he manages that ZMaps thing. So this allows you to buy and sell with locals, similar to the way the Mycelium local trader does it. So next on the list is, okay, so using QR codes to receive locally displays your QR codes so your friend can scan it. Right, so this is how I got into the Bitcoin originally too, was just going to meetups and scanning somebody's QR code and sending and receiving that way. So it also supports the entire BitShares blockchain. We haven't touched the graphene protocol at all, so this app just sits on top of graphene. So we're not going to screw up graphene in any way or anything like that. So we're still able to utilize the 3-second blocks and the 10,000 plus transactions per second and all the great things that BitShares is already capable of. Sending and receiving smart coins is a big one. So that's one of the jobs of the mobile wallet. So it's going to be able to send and receive BitUSD, BitEuro, BitCNY, Bitcoin, BitBTC. Silver, gold, and all that kind of stuff, all the smart coins. We can also narrow that down at the merchant POS, by the way. I didn't even mention that. The merchant can choose which smart coins or UIAs that they want to accept or issue. So this is, that's kind of huge, actually. That's part of the POS systems. So for those merchants that want to issue rewards cards or their own UIA to get their customer loyalty and stuff like that. So anyway, so the wallet totally supports that as well. It also allows you to send and receive user-issued assets and BTS. So now with your smartphone, you can send and receive BTS, smart coins, and UIAs like OPENPOS, OBITs, OpenBTC, Coffee, and so forth. It also has the memo field for sending that you can utilize for sending payments, for typing in your personal notes or notes to the recipient. Hey, thanks for your order, thanks for the beer, whatever. It also has a sharing thing on the contacts screen that allows you to share the app with friends and then get rewards that way through the referral program. There's also in the contact screen the ability to create avatars for your contacts. So similar to the way your Google Contacts works, if you guys use that, I don't know. But so let's. I'm trying to make it very, very material and design, so it's very, very clean. So that you can put notes down with the different users, and it's also going to support stealth as soon as the stealth comes out. if an account in your contacts is a stealth account, we have this just a little dark pair of sunglasses that goes by the contact name. So basically, this allows you to put a label on the person's key, and that allows you to send to them and keep them in your contacts as a stealth account. So I tried to simplify that as much as I could. So I figured, well, why not just put like a dark pair of sunglasses, a little tiny icon there that basically denotes that that's a stealth account. So that's coming as soon as the stealth is released. It's totally open source. And all of the code for the BitShares mobile wallets are on my GitHub page. I'll be doing the last poll that I did was about 10 days ago, but on Monday I will do another one and I'll post it to my GitHub page. So if you go to github.com/kencode-de, that is my GitHub page. So if you follow me there, you'll get that updates as soon as I get the next chunk uploaded there. Let's see. So everything is open source. It's all based on JavaScript and React.js. Contests can be organized by BitShares account address or nickname field. You can also sort by columns. So if you have like 100 contacts or whatever, you can sort by name, sort by account, and not by nodes. Yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid, so I left that off of there. So you can sort. It makes it a lot easier to find a contact if you have a lot of contacts. It also supports notes and avatars. So otherwise, it uses the what's that thing called? The J-Denticon or Identicons. The funny looking. It supports. Yep, it supports that as well. And if you don't like seeing that, you would rather replace that with your wife's face or something, you can put that on there. Let's see. Quickly and easily share your payment address via email, chat, wireless, social media, and telephone. So there's also a sharing thing on the receiving screen, which you can see in those image links that I posted there. So it makes it really easy to share your QR code or your address, or even a QR code with a specific amount embedded in the QR code. So if you're requesting a specific amount from somebody, it'll send it to them with that QR code requesting a specific amount. So all they have to do is scan it with their phone, and they send you the exact amount. So you always get paid what you want, which is great too for merchants that don't have tablets yet. I ran into that a couple weeks ago. How some merchants don't even have the tablets yet because they're still too expensive. They're like $500 in some places still. Anyways, that solved that problem. Let's see what else.
Wow, man. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you guys have packed into this dang thing.
It's been a lot of months of work, man. I got to tell you, it's without Xerox and his documentation, there is no way we could have done this. Absolutely no way. And the team at CNX has been outstanding in helping us out too. So God bless those guys, because it's without them we wouldn't be able to even start this project. So all right, so everything, like I said, is written in React.js. So the block number on the bottom right corner is in real time as well. So every 3 seconds you'll see the block number changing. Like in Mycelium, you have to tap on the refresh thing and whatever. With our wallet, you don't have to do that because it's updated every 3 seconds. So every time somebody sends you money, it'll go woo like that, and then you can turn off the sound file too if you want to, and replace that. But I thought it was cute. But anyhow, but it'll automatically display the new balance and the transaction in your transaction history in real time too. So with sockets and React, we were able to connect all that stuff. So the user interface and user experience never needs a refresh. It is real time. Filter and exporting of transactions. I needed this for my accountant, actually, for tax reporting, and I was like, well, wait a minute, our wallet needs to have an easy way to export this stuff, because our wallet right now, like the web wallets and stuff, don't really have an easy way to export transactions and show it in my currency with the notes and everything like that. Like, well, this was a write-off, this was not a write-off, and so on. So if you ever need to export, that is in version 1 as well. So You'll be able to filter transactions by transaction type, by asset, and sorting, ascending or descending on the particular columns, and then export it however your accountant wants it. And I think it was, let's see, what formats was it?
So essentially, you can export it. You can export it similarly to how PolyNX allows you to export your transaction history there. Only you can do it in a format that would be something that your accountant would need for the end of the year for taxes, or a business could do the same thing.
I don't know about PolyNX. I don't use PolyNX. I wish I did, but I don't. But it's basically allowing you to export to, I think it's open document format, Excel, and one other, CSV, I think was the other one. It's a comma separated values file. So at least that way you can export the transactions that you want to export. Including the receipts, by the way, because I remember earlier I mentioned the e-receipts from the merchants. So if you're receiving e-receipts via QR codes, those are stored in your file system as the base 58 encoded, URL of that particular transaction. So if you want to export the receipts too, it can actually export those as well. That's not going to be in version 1 though, because that was way too much work. So that's probably going to be version 1.1 or 1.2. But that, since the receipts are already on your system, I thought, well, why don't we export the receipts too? Because she's going to want to print them. So but that's coming too. But that's probably in like version 1.1 or 1.2 to export receipts as separate files. Let's see what else was next here. Filtering, exporting. Cold storage and paper wallets, of course, are fully supported. And sweeping, sweeping a paper wallet. And it's also from version 1 going to be available in 22 languages. And here is the file, which I hope everybody looks at. I would like it if everybody would please take a look at that translations file and verify for me, if you know a foreign language, of course, if your particular translation looks okay. Because like I said, this wallet is going to be released in 22 languages. And we had a number of members from the community already help us out with the Chinese. And actually, there's still a little bit of Russian to do. I think there's like 6 or 7 fields left in the Russian. But if anybody in our community knows Russian, please give us a hand. It's column V, I think, in that spreadsheet. So, but that is the language file for the wallets. Which, by the way, if anything needs to be changed down the road, every single language file is in JSON files on GitHub. So, but we take it from this particular file. So if you could please make your changes there, and then I'll get them typed in on GitHub for you, so you don't have to worry about learning JSON or anything like that.
Just something to keep in mind, Ken, to have a backup of this, just in case, because whenever you have,
I know if I remember the stinky pants or whatever it was. Remember that the delegate accountability roster that I did, and some Weisenheimer got in there, and yeah, I know. I've been making copies of this file like every time I send somebody to it. Yeah, I've got like 5 or 6 backups of it already. And after this mobile session, I'll make another backup too, just in case. So that way, I can always revert back, and we don't lose too much if somebody starts going in and messing things up. So just. Please don't make it hard. We're trying to release a high quality product here and get it out in as many languages as possible.
Definitely. I just really wanted to make sure that you were keeping on, because you're busy, and I would hate to see this turn into something where somebody went in there and messed with it because you gave them God powers that they didn't deserve.
Well, but right now it's totally open, so all the people that are in there right now, like I said, I will make a backup right after this mumble, and I'll continue making backups probably every 12 hours too. So if you're in there helping us out with the translation, please do. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Maybe in the meantime, I can give an answer to email Tojay about the meetups. It's a little bit off topic, but maybe it's going to help you. Basically, what you really need to do with the meetups is you have to go to meetup.com. You have to create an account and create a user group there. You have to pay a yearly fee. It's around $30. And then you basically can create as many meetups as you want. You don't really need a lot of PowerPoint slides or Beamer or something like that. You don't need it. You just need the first kind of people you want to reach out to. You just have to set up the first meetup. You have to find a good location. I would recommend not to go to a public or big bar because it's usually very, very loud. If you find like something smaller, it's good, especially if you have bigger groups. But if you just get off, it's still okay to go to a bar, to go to a restaurant, so you can eat a little bit, you can talk, you get some drinks, and then you can really start talking about BitShares or any other kind of topics you want. So it's very easy to get started with a meetup group. And as soon as you basically reach a bigger group, so for example, I run also our a startup group in Munich, and we have roughly 25 people to 30 people every meetup. Of course, then we have a special room, we have a special supporter who is giving us all the free rooms, and the people coming regularly, and sometimes we also invite guest speakers to talk about their latest startups, their latest experience and their latest problems. And it's always a good time, basically a good time to get together to talk about companies, startups, entrepreneurship. And that's what we want to do with the BitShares Munich group as well in Munich. And we are in a good way already. We have a good room, and in the future we're also going to have more presentations about BitShares itself, about the technology, and there's way more to come. But you don't have to be afraid. Just start a meetup group, set it up, put it out there, and talk to a lot of people, and also go to other meetups and talk about your own meetup group. That will also bring a lot of attention to your group.
It's a really good idea to kind of like. It's kind of like going into other groups to kind of let them know about the other stuff that's going on, because they're at least interested demographic in terms of communal participation, aka meetups, you know.
Yeah, so I think AJ is also asking what kind of type of crowd to invite. I think the most people are very, very coming from different backgrounds. It doesn't really matter if they're techie groups or if they're lawyers or startups or just normal people. Everybody who is a little bit sensitive on money or is just worried about where the future goes with all the mass surveillance and basically talking about all the terrorism, what is coming up and all of that. You basically will find those people, and they are interested in new kinds of money. What I can really recommend is basically go out to other meetups in your town, in your city, and talk to a lot of people you are comfortable with, and just tell them that you are planning to do this group. And in this way, you also gather basically a lot of new people who want to sign up and who wants to know more. And I also can recommend, don't make it too technology. Don't address it just for developers or JavaScript coders and so on, because they're a special kind of group. But I think what BitShares really need right now is entrepreneurs who really see the technology, they see the potential to use BitShares as an IT backbone to build new companies. So you can look into those kind of people too, but of course you also need developers. So if you go, for example, to JavaScript or to a JS Node Hacker Day, just go there, talk about your group, and you will find a lot of people who are interested.
Meetups is the way to go. I mean, we've met so many people of all types. It's just, if nothing else, just don't make it too formal. You know, just have some coffee, have a beer, whatever, and just chit chat and talk crypto. Because once those conversations about crypto starts, it's really easy to keep it going. So just it's so low pressure. Just keep it cool and relax with it. You know, you'll really enjoy it, and so will the other people too. They'll keep coming back too.
I'm really pumped about the project. I've known that you guys, or that at least Ken was working on something with point of sale for a while. And
it's been a long time coming, man. I mean,
yeah, I knew it.
And the thing was, it's like people are like, well, what are you doing with the delegate pay and all this? And like, well, now you can see what I've been doing. I mean, this is a lot of code, man. And there's like and then the thing with the POS too, you can't have the POS without the wallet. You can't have the wallet without some place to spend it. So it's like, okay, look, we need to do both. basically at the same time. So I got my Python guy, I got my audio guy, and then I got my mobile guys. And we got everybody together and we said, okay, this is how the e-receipt thing is going to work, and let's just make it work together. And so you can't have one without the other. So I took them both on at the same time. So with the mobile wallet beta 1 coming out on Monday, and then the POS systems, I'm really, if we can get this open POS token fulfilled, then I see no reason why we can't have the first module ready for Odoo by March 1st. So that is my goal. We just got to get this thing funded.
Well, I'm glad you guys made the choice to open up funding. And I'll say this, what you've done with the delegate pay, what little you received, was well worth it in my opinion, because it's funny whenever people will complain that they don't see you doing anything because you're not on the forums or something.
I'm not a big fan of the forum. There's just a lot of hate going around and all this. And it's like, you know what, man, I got work to do. So, and I'm so glad I chose React, React.js. If you guys are coders or whatever, please look at React.js, because we definitely need more UI people, designers, and we need more React.js people. So, but Python people and C++ers and all that, I got plenty of those people, but we really need designers. We need people that really can position elements well and work with React. So that's been the hardest part for me to learn. So, but it's fun too. I really enjoy this stuff, and JavaScript is where it's at,
Can I kind of jump in and I have a kind of a quick question about the referral again.
Absolutely, AJ.
You offend both of us by even trying to jump in.
No, I'm still kind of curious about the referral. Can you mention that in the program you already have the referral built in? I guess when you're in the wallet and you refer a friend and you mention the referral, does that go to the OpenPOS shareholders basically, to the token, or is the referral going to be implemented for that user that sent that invite?
You're talking about two different things. The OpenPOS token is not doing like registrar referral type of stuff or registering accounts. No, the wallet does that. It is my intention to have the wallet or the BitShare. I'm not quite sure how the registrar thing works. I think James Calfee is going to be helping us set that up. But anyhow, the wallet is set up to do referrals though. So if you refer somebody using the contact screen, then you get the referral kickback. So the more you use the referral button in the contact screen, which you can see it on there. If you look at the contact screen and those images that I posted, look in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a button with some like 3 people on the button. That is the referral button. So every time you refer somebody using that, you get the referral, not BitShares Munich.
Yeah, and the reason I'm narrowing this down is, because if I'm a business owner, and let's say I open up Taco Bell Grande, and I want to refer a customer, I want to make sure that me as a business owner can get that referral fee from that customer I just referred, and not going to like through the Odoo system or through the OpenPOS system and getting those referral fees. It comes directly back to the owner.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it would work. I want the people who are out there doing the referrals, especially those meetups and stuff, because that's where you should be getting referrals. So you're getting your friend all set up, then yeah, of course. But BitShares Munich gets the referral if the user, like if you install the app and you do it with your phone, then you are getting, I'm not explaining that right. When you install the app, it's going to have you either import an account or register an account. If you register an account on the phone, then BitShares Munich gets that referral because you used the BitShares Munich designed wallet to sign up for the account. But if you send the link to somebody with the refer a friend button in the top right hand corner, that's different. That's using the phone's context menu that pops up where it says, how do you want to share? It usually looks at all the apps you have installed, like email, Gmail, Skype, whatever, wireless or whatever, that's when that information is sent to the other person that they can click on and get your username in that link, where R equals your username.
And just for my clarification, is the wallet linked in with Odoo? Is that part of that software, or are they two separate things?
No, that's two separate things.
Okay.
I'm keeping the wallet as a standalone app so that we don't have to rely on any third party.
So I guess my next question would be, let's say you guys, all this gets implemented, everything's up and running smoothly, and I want to go beat the streets and go talk to merchants. What would I be selling? Would I be selling the wallet or Odoo? Both? Can you explain that a little bit more?
That sounds like a marketing question. It kind of depends upon your use case, I guess. For me, it's just going to be going out there and hitting the streets, with the wallet. But I would rather have Odoo do all the selling for the new feature in their software. But it also behooves all the OPENPOS owners, hodlers, holders, to go out there and do the same thing, because that means more transactions and more rewards coming back to them. So it's that network effect that I'm going for here.
Yeah, definitely. Now, out of curiosity, though, is this just selling it, or is this helping them implement it? What else goes into it other than that? Is there a technical aspect that needs to be taken into consideration?
No, it doesn't cost the merchant anything. This is the beauty of it too. But even the app, once the app comes out in the Odoo App Store, it's going to be for free. So if I can manage to get the management to okay the module to be included in their next version too, then the individual merchants and businesses don't even have to install an app. So for adoption, this is, it doesn't cost them anything either. So this is my intent is to get mass adoption in that way, because it's just part of their existing platform.
Yeah.
How many apps does Odoo have? Can you? I kind of glanced through them, but I didn't see any.
Well, they have two. What they have is two apps primarily: the restaurant and the retail. I'm not going for the restaurant one because I can get more transactions going with supermarkets and stuff. So I went with their retail one. But their enterprise thing has multiple packages. They call them apps, but they're not really apps like you would see in their app store. It's like accounting, website. Chris probably remembers more good. We went to a PowerPoint with them too, where they showed us all the different integrations that they already have too, including PayPal, by the way. But anyhow, so basically the smart coins integration is going to go into the Odoo back end. So when the merchant is setting up their Odoo platform and they're setting up their tablets and all that stuff at their store, they have to choose, what payment types do you want to accept at your brick and mortar store? What kind of payment types do you want to accept at your online store, and so forth? And then they go in and they check cash, check, Visa, MasterCard. And when they check those buttons too, there's these fields that appear too, where you have to type in your gateway account ID and all these user credentials and all that KYC stuff. And then there's going to be another option in there that allows them to check smart coins. And then you're going to see OpenBTC, euros, dollars, yuan, all the different smart coins and stuff that we have. So, but the cool thing is too, is once that bridge comes out with CCDK, I don't know if you guys have been following what CCDK is doing, but sometime this month, I guess, or maybe early February or something, he already set up the UIAs for it. He's got open.usd and open.eur and CNY and all that. So that basically now you can bridge immediately in your wallet. So now we can have that integrated with the wallet automatically. And using jQuery, unfortunately, on Odoo, it'll automatically display to the merchant. So now the merchant can take advantage of all these new features as they come out, and we don't have to keep issuing updates either. So the code will go out there and query the DEX and query CCDK for this information as these new features are released. So I'm looking forward to that CCDK bridge.
So is it safe to say that BitShares will be basically the only cryptocurrency in the Odoo platform?
So far, it's looking that way. Yep, it looks like we could be first to market and be able to support people who want to pay with Bitcoin or Litecoin or Dogecoin or whatever too. But the merchant has to have a BitShares account to be able to accept them all, because it's going to use that bridge to be able to accept, like Dogecoin, for example, convert it to Open Doge.
All right. Thank you.
So you see that the power there, because now the merchant doesn't have to choose which crypto should I go with, because that's been a major stumbling block too, because they're like, oh God, well, what if I choose Bitcoin and they go out of business, or what they're thinking. Well, now the merchant doesn't have to think. We've done all of that for them, and we've got a built-in and dynamic in the back end of their software. So now if a customer comes up and they say, do you guys take Litecoin? And, in the back end, they have OpenLTC checked, then yes, the answer is yes. We accept Litecoin. So they scan the QR code, they use their Litecoin wallet to send directly to their OpenLTC through the bridge, CCK, and everything is done automatically in the back end. So the customer can now pay with what they want. The merchant can accept whatever they want and not have to worry about picking the right coin. Just make it as dynamic as possible. How many times do I say that?
Yep, but it's a good thing to keep on banging at.
That's been a big stumbling block. If you're a merchant and you got 600 and something cryptos out there now that they can choose from, how do you know which one is the right one?
You don't, so you have to accept as many of them as you possibly can and hope that you can transfer them into the value of something that you know and trust.
Merchants aren't going to be willing to do that, though. That's what Ken is saying.
Have to think about it. Just make it automatic so the merchant doesn't have to think about it.
Exactly. So, you've got the right idea, Ken.
I think what does CCEDK support now? They've got like 7 or 8 different pairs, right? Like OpenLTC, OpenBTC. Plus, we have our own smart coin, BTC, BitBTC. So there's that competition going on. But I think it's great because this opens the doors for merchants, man. They don't have to think anymore. Just what's this? We can do crypto now, and all you got to do is check this box and have a BitShares account. Yeah, pretty much. Wow, cool. And it only costs 32 BitShares to send, let's hope we can lower that. But, yeah. Just dummy friendly.
Now, how easy will this be to implement for point of sale on the web?
I'm going to have to work with Roadscape and Bitscape. They had the first cart out there, so I'd like to work with them a little bit on that. But I was shown, Xerox did show me the wallet merchant payment thing or whatever on GitHub. So once we have this running and we got everything, well-oiled machine with the wallet and the first POS systems, then I'll look at that. But I have to stay focused and make sure that we get these products out the door as fast as possible first, and then we'll get into that.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. You got to stay focused on what your main thrust is. But Roadscape did post something. It only took him a couple of hours to post his old BitShares 1 code over to the new Graphene code base to implement point of sale there. So I'm going to be looking into that myself to do that. But I'm surprised nobody else has mentioned this, that if it's that easy to do, then it's going to get done quickly. I'm surprised nobody else has mentioned that this has been done, because lots of people have websites that they want to monetize, so I'm shocked.
Just you gotta go.
No problem. I got to go get my son here soon anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank all of you guys so much for your support. It's just from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for your help. And like I said, on Monday, we're going to release the first beta of the wallet so you guys can start playing with it. And if we get this OpenPOS funded, we'll have the first systems ready to go in a couple of months too. So please spread the word, and I hope to maybe do another mumble with you guys next Friday. So again, from the bottom of my heart, Happy New Year, and thank you very much.
Take care, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
I also want to thank everybody who bought OpenPS today, who was interested to help us with the project, and we are going to be available for the next couple of days. If you want to buy more OpenPOS, just shoot me a mail, and thank you everybody for your great support for today, and looking forward to the launch on Monday. And please play around with the app, give us feedback, and if you find bugs or anything, just shoot us a mail. We're going to fix it all.